It's time for the review of Kata Collection. Like, comment, and subscribe. With the seas under constant threat from hostile Absal fleets, a specialized naval base is established to counter them. Rather than standard naval weaponry, however, the base is armed with kusume, girls who harbor the spirit of Japanese warship, possessing the ability to don weaponized gear that allows them to harness the powerful souls within themselves. Ukabukuri, a young destroyer-type Cosima, joins the base as a new recruit. Unfortunately for her, despite her inexperience and timid nature, she is assigned to the famous 3rd Torpedo Squadron and quickly thrust into the heat of battle. When she is rescued from near annihilation, the rookie warship resolves to become as strong as the one who saved her. This anime has about 12 episodes. It does have a sequel and a movie. It premiered January 8, 2015 to March 26, 2015. Based off of a game series, it is action, military, sci-fi, slice of life, and school. Each episode is 20 minutes per episode and rated PG-13. Now let's get started into the review. One thing I like about this anime, which I can see a lot of people having like really mixed reviews, if you don't know where the anime is coming from, because it does come from a gaming standpoint, it was a mobile game before anything else. Now with that being said, I think overall the Kanata collections, or KanColle as they're called, is more of a RPG multiplayer game, but also the way they make it seem in the storyline, the base is where the girls basically are charged with a number of ships based in World War II, and you kind of send these ships on toward expeditions, patrols, and battles against the monsters that they are fighting in this anime, who are taking over Earth's oceans. All while, you gotta kind of think, is gonna take the main focal point from the game itself, or is it gonna try to recreate a story to make sure everything is cohesive and makes sense for the audience that is into the whole type of military ships and planes and vice versa. Now, depending on the fan base where you're particularly from and what side you sit on, can make your view on the anime go which way depending on this anime adaptation. Now, there is a bit of fan service, I will say about that, but other than that, you can see where the quick popularity is based from. Now, overall, for the point of the anime, the story does do a good job of displaying what the main focal point is, the beginning, middle, and end. Now, with that being said, to tell the young character's journey on this anime, more military-based focus, I would feel like, while having the battle on Earth's oceans, is that they all possess some type of spirit from each of these military ships from World War II. Now, that being said, between the fan service and the game adaptation made that into the anime, I can see where some points are mixed up here and there. And without going into full details in it, I think overall the art style is very nice, especially during like the non-combat scenes, especially the fight scene between the main protagonist and the enemies. Now, while the ship's parts for the girls look nice to keep going, the artillery designs are all based from the art from the game and World War II ship, while the girls also look cute enough for them to fit into their gear while they're battling their monsters. Unlike their in-game counterpart, the main problem is the CG during the combat scenes, where there are basically water skiing or water jetting across the ocean. It looks very different, but it's also very fragmented. The animation is not as smooth as I would like it to be, and sometimes the combat scenes are very not difficult to watch, but they just seem like they're not properly done well. Besides the ship girls, and every time I guess they also know what they wear, their armor, especially that of the ship. Between the 3D model and the 2D model, it does be a little bit confusing. Along with the other reasons you might enjoy this anime is that the opening song and the end song are very enjoyable. The soundtrack helps well with the fight scenes in the anime itself. That way the anime is not, it still lingers in your mind, it's not forgettable, along with the artillery fighting and the noises made from the girls' weaponry and missilery, as well as the ammunition in the anime itself. The voice actor does a good job of bringing their jobs and their characters to life on the big screen, not to mention that it does take a lot of voice actors to voice multiple ship sisters, and also to differentiate the different pitches and their tones and how each character would sound very different if you had a whole array of different voice actors, but you have a small cast. I think a very small cast of voice actors voicing at least 6 different girls in the series that I've noticed. And also from that, the main characters also, like, you have all these different characters and personalities that it would be very dangerous to make sure that that each character sticks out, because when you have the same voice actor, voice acting a couple characters, you got to make sure that their voice, their pitch, and the personality stand out from the rest. That way they don't all sound the same and have similar voices. And I think the voice actors did a really good job bringing all those characters to life, especially bringing full focus the character's personality, interests, dislikes, motivation, and goals. Other than that, I feel like the ships are all mainly modern athletes to the World War II counterparts, and that from the game. To that, I would have to say, especially like the enemy's base and the character's base where they're like stationed at, the character development could be a little bit better. But overall, I think when providing the view of how the ships are animated along with the girls' battle armor, I feel like overall you can discuss the history of the ships along with like the analytics and battle strategy of how they proceed, how they do their tactics, and how they want to fight the enemy. Overall, you see some of the characters and how their history and their spirit of their World War II counterparts come to full circle, especially for the night of battle, how most of them talk about their experience in World War II, where that could be the ship that's harboring inside of them. Overall, if you're a huge fan of the game that this anime is based on, I think you really enjoy it a lot. You also can see the girls' costuming when they are wearing their respective ships, how some of them are wearing more of a traditional wear, whether that would be school uniform wear attire to the ship, depending on how the movability, how they're fighting in each of the scenes. Overall, I think if you're more into the tactical aspect of the fight in the battle, this anime is for you. But if you're not into that type of thing, maybe the anime is not for you. But I feel like you just give it a shot. Besides the whole ship girl thing and the gimmick of it and the fan service, overall just have a really pretty good story to it. I think overall it could have been fleshed out a little bit better if they give more of the pacing of the story and give more insight to each of the ships and what are like their advantages, what are their pros and cons, and what are their weaknesses, what are their advantages, what are their strengths and their numbers, or how they find information, or how like all the groups and girls are basically recruited into fighting for Japan and the battling oceans against the enemy monsters that they are facing, but just depending on how the writers handled it overall. But it's a good anime. I just feel like if you're more into the military base of the military ship girls and basically the game that it's based on, this anime does a pretty good job of that. But I feel like sometimes they get lost in the narrative where not everything is explained fully foremost, to where the girls live on this big naval base and they are trained in combat to these enemies. We have some girls model of aircraft carriers, other strong ships like special type destroyer, and all the ships that are named. I feel like they could go more details into that, where each character, they all have unique personalities and traits and development that makes them unique to their ships and the model ships that they're modeled after. But I think diving more into the different unique styles and their combat training, how they train, how they figure out different strategies, that would have been more helpful in my opinion. But overall, it was a good anime that did a very good job trying to convey the whole battleship essence. But definitely check it out for yourself. Comment down below what you think of KanColle Collection, and I think also it mirrors its older sister anime, Azura Lane, how they did I think a much better job of explaining the whole narrative of battleships and other battleship anime girls that are kind of based in this typical genre. But definitely check it out for yourself and let me know what you think.